Hello, I am Connor, the Mountain Artist, and welcome to a brand new series on the brand new channel. In this series, we're going to be covering everything to do with gaming, talking about gaming, reviewing games, anything to do with gaming. It's going to be right here in this new series on the new channel. So let's not waste anybody's time. Sit back, relax, and take a glimpse into life in 8-bit devotion. Enjoy. Alright you guys, so as you just seen, this is a brand new series called Life in 8-bit Devotion. All things gaming. Game reviews, talking about games, discussing games, my opinions on games, and your guys' opinions as well if you feel so inclined to join the discussion in the comments. But yeah, for the first episode, we're kicking off things with a game review. And what game we're going to be looking at? Oh, Mafia 2. Now, this is part of the Mafia series by 2K. And I played the first game when the definitive edition came out. I've never really played the story for the first game. I've had the original Mafia on PS2 for years and years, but never really played the story until the definitive edition came out. Loved that one, but I've always been playing Mafia 2 ever since it came out. Amazing game, unbelievable game. For those of you who don't know what Mafia 2 is about, well, if you do know what it's about, if you're big fans of the series and you know what it's about, then I'll put a timestamp on the video for you to skip to if you want to just skip ahead and if you don't need the refresher. But for those of you who haven't really played the Mafia games before, I'll tell you, and I'll keep it as brief as possible because we've got a whole video to get on with. Basically, about two main characters, Joe Barbaro and Vito Scaletta. After they become best friends, they started business of their own, which included robbing shops and stuff like that. But then Vito gets arrested. It's 1943, World War II, and Vito gets a choice, either go to prison or serve in the army, so he chooses the army, and he gets involved with the 504th Paratrooper Regiment, who's been assigned, who have an assignment or orders to assist in the invasion of Sicily, otherwise known as Operation Husky. But they don't actually complete the mission. They nearly all get killed except Vito, because the head of the Sicilian mafia called Don Colo comes in a tank and basically says to the fascist Italian troops, the war's over, lay down your arms, the war's over, it's all over. So because he told them to, the Italian troops in that garrison surrendered. And then as many historians will know, in real life by 1944, Mussolini was assassinated by the Allies, despite running to Hitler for help once the Italians had pulled out of the war, and obviously, yeah. So that was that, and then Vito got shot by the Nazis in Europe in early 45. Got sent back home on what was originally temporary leave. He went back to his old neighbourhood after getting a drink with his buddy Joe, who gives him a welcome home present of discharge papers to get him out of the army, so he no longer has to go back. And then he goes home, sees his sister and his mother, then goes to Joe and starts doing jobs with Joe, stealing cars, breaking into government agencies, selling ration stamps and killing people and stuff like that. But the family he was working for, the Clemente family, because there's three families in this game: the Clemente family, the Falcone family, and the Vinci family. He starts working for the Clemente family just like Joe. But the Clemente family set both Joe and Vito up. Vito ends up taking a fall, serves 6 years on what was originally a 10-year prison sentence. But after meeting someone called Leo Galante inside and starting to get quite close to Leo as a friend, obviously, whilst he was inside, Leo helped him get Vito's sentence reduced, which led to Vito being released from prison in 1951, as opposed to having served. If obviously he'd have served the 10 years, he'd have been getting released in 55. But obviously got his sentence reduced by about 4 years. Only served about 6 years served 6 years inside. Got out in 51, and he went straight back to Joe for work. Joe explains that he nearly got fucked over by the Clemente family as well. Got himself in with the Falcone family and started working for them. So Vito did the same. All kinds of jobs. Drug deals and stuff like murder, stuff like that. And then, of course, they get made. They end up being welcomed into the Falcone family, become made men, and that's when they go on a big job. A bombing in a hotel to kill the head of the Don of the Clemente family, Alberto Clemente. However, things go wrong. Clemente was actually in the bathroom, in the room where the bomb went off, so it didn't actually blast. So he wasn't actually killed in the blast. Starts shooting at Joe and Vito, goes on the run. Vito and Joe fight their way through the hotel to get back to the car, but the driver's been killed by Clemente's guys, so they go after Clemente's self to kill all of Clemente's guys in the cars. They go to Clemente, shoot him up, kill Clemente, and then that's the Clemente family done. But then it turns out the Vinci family wanted the Falcone family out of the picture. And one of Falcone's right hands, Eddie Scarpa, says that the only thing they can do to really deal a big blow to Frank Vinci, the head of the Vinci family, of course, is to take out Leo Galante, the guy Vito became close with in prison, became good friends with in prison. And he was really going to offer the job to Vito because he because he thought Vito was the only person who could pull off that kind of job. But after a guy named Henry Tomasino, who Vito and Joe worked for before, he was a guy who was wanting to join up with the Falcone family, obviously after the Clemente family got wiped out. Wanting to join up with the Falcone family, he was given the job of assassinating Galante as a test. If he pulled off the job, obviously he would be in the family, but Vito would then race to Leo's mansion, warning that Falcone had sent guys after him to kill him. Leo and Vito would then try to escape Leo's mansion only to get caught by Henry. Henry and Vito would then strike a reluctant deal with Leo in the middle of all of it. And then Vito would then drive Leo to the train station. Leo would skip town. Then after that, it would be a big drug deal involving Vito, Henry, Joe, and the Chinese triads. But on the way out of the Chinese triads warehouse, they get stopped by some cops who weren't actually cops, and they thought it was all set up by the triads to get them all killed. They end up surviving the ambush, get a car full of Chinese triads chasing after them to take that car out, and they start selling the dope to all the dope fiends and the smackheads and that. And then obviously they're absolutely flush. They've got loads of money, and obviously then Joe and Vito still believe in the Chinese set them up. They go to a Chinese restaurant and kill all the Chinese triads inside. But it was only because Henry was found dead, killed by the triads in the middle of the park. So that's why Vito and Joe go to the Chinese restaurant, kill all the triads inside, and kill the leader. But at the same time, they then owed money to a loan shark called Bruno, who, on top of an original 35 grand loan, demanded a 55 grand return once Henry refused to tell Bruno what he needed, what him, Vito and Joe needed the 35 grand for in the first place. And Vito and Joe go their separate ways to try and make that money back. Another guy Vito was working for called Derek Popolato, who Vito's father also used to work for, who turned out to actually die because of Derek. Upon hearing that truth, Vito turned his weapons to Derek, chases Derek across the docks into the warehouse, kills all of his guys, and then kills Derek, gets Derek's money, nearing 30 grand in total, and takes the money back to Bruno the loan shark, gives Bruno the money back, then ends up getting, then a little bit of time passes, and Vito and Joe end up getting jacked kidnapped, should I say, by Vinci's guys, beaten up by Vinci's guys, and they end up fighting their way down from the top of the building through, I forget what it is, some kind of fancy, posh buildings, something like that, but they fight their way from the top to the bottom, taking out all of Vinci's guys, and then things aren't going well, and then it turns out they then have to kill Falcone, and by doing so, obviously, it would mean they were out of the family because obviously Falcone would be dead. But it turns out Falcone was the main bad man all along, so they go to take all the Falcone's guys. Vito and Joe kill Falcone, and then Vito gets told to get in the car by Leo, who's fucking pissed at Vito. Goes, "You're not long the road." He tells Vito, you started a war, blah 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 blah. You've caused more trouble than you're worth. You're out." So Vito gets exiled from Empire Bay, and what happens to Joe isn't actually seen other than he gets taken to a bit of like a compound kind of thing by Vinci's guys. And then that's really it. That's the end of the game. So a great story for a great game, unbelievable game, and yeah. So this game is obviously it's a third person action adventure game. And it's basically one of the greatest third person shooter action adventure games of all time, in my opinion. Amazing game with an amazing cast of characters. Unbelievable story. I love the music in the game, but the music is to my personal taste, so love the music in the game, love the cards in the game, love the style of the game, the 40s and 50s settings. Everything is just absolutely awesome in this game, and yeah, I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So once again, amazing art style in this game, gameplay mechanics amazing, vehicle in the game amazing, music in the game, and everything about this game absolutely amazing, unreal. One of the best games ever made, in my opinion. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And now at the end I'll put some images of some of the characters from the game with a little bit of as much backstory as I can get off of them for you guys. That was my thoughts on the game. Unbelievable game. Everything about this game is awesome, in my opinion. One of my all-time favorite games. A game that I never get tired of playing over and over again. And yeah, it's an excellent, amazing game. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright guys, so again, final thoughts on this game. Well, I've already really said I'm having a unbelievable game, amazing game, one of the best games ever made, ever. Again, published by 2K. It's honestly, if you've never played the Mafia games before, I highly recommend you do. And in my opinion, Mafia 2 is the best game of the lot. The first Mafia game was unreal, but this game just takes it to the next level. Such a great game. If you love GTA, You love driving cars around, shooting people, killing people. You can't you can't just stay in free roam for a while and then head to the mission objective whenever you want to in this game. And the game's just a lot of fun. Playing the story is awesome because it is, like I've just said, an amazing story. And yeah, it's absolutely fucking awesome. In my opinion, the Mafia series, shit hit the fan a little bit for me when it started getting a bit shit with Mafia 3. Not that I'm saying the story of Mafia 3 was bad in any way, because it wasn't, but I really prefer the linear style of the earlier Mafias, something that they've definitely brought back with the brand new Mafia that's just come out, Mafia the Old Country. But again, just Mafia 2 is a great part of one of the greatest games series of all time, in my opinion. Love the Mafia games, love Mafia 2, fucking love them. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about this. Again, if you've never played it before, Mafia 2, get the game, start it up, and just let yourselves get lost in this game. One of the greatest games you'll ever play. Honestly, it's unreal. So once again, one of the greatest games of all time, Mafia 2. Alright, and that does it for the first episode of Life in 8-Bit Devotion. That was a review of one of the greatest games of all time, Mafia 2. And it's a game that holds a very special place in my heart because I played the game when it first came out. Amazing game. And it's a game I honestly do not get tired of at all. Excuse me. I could play that game again and again and again and never ever get bored of it. Such a fucking unreal game. And since I've been gaming for a long time, I've played some shit. I've played a lot of fucking shit, but Mafia 2 is, without a doubt, a diamond of a game. It's unreal. One of the greatest games of all time. And I cannot think of a reason to ever stop playing that game. One of the best games ever. No doubt about it. I absolutely love it. So, if you guys enjoyed this, please do leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined to. I really do appreciate all of that. And as for the next episode, I'm not going to tell you what it's about. You'll have to wait and find out. But until then, I'm Connor, the Mathematics Artist. I'll see you all in the next one. Remember, this life in 8-Bit Devotion is sweet. So enjoy it. Keep on gaming, and I'll see you all in the next one. Because life in 8-Bit Devotion not get any sweeter. See you next time.